Oh, certainly a beautiful night right here in Nairobi. We meet again. Thank you so much for keeping it at TV47. And it is time for TV47 Weekend Edition. And to be precise, Disruptive Friday. Taking it up from Eric Monene, who will be joining me sometime next week. But today we have to do it. And remember, it's all about technology. And so as technology plays a pivotal role in transforming security responses across various parts of the country, of course, certainly that is one thing that we cannot outrule today. So whether it's addressing medical emergencies, facilitating road rescues, issuing security alerts, or providing access to numerous services, technology empowers individuals as well as organizations to certainly proactively identify, detect, respond to, and mitigate security threats in a landscape that is actually dynamic and complex. So tonight on Disruptive Friday, Swift Response will be gracing our set as we introduce to you a world that uses technology to guarantee you safety on several fronts. So we will be looking at that conversation later on. But before that, let's take a look at the highlights. Tonight,
in Elgeyo-Marakwet County are concerned with an upsurge of admissions of young people who come in with adverse effects following circumcision.
5 people are dead following a botched circumcision incident in Elgeyo-Marakwet County.
Watakaoajiriwa kwa jeshi la Kenya, kwa polisi wa Kenya, Kenya Forest Service, Kenya Wildlife Service, asilimia 80, 80% watakuwa hawa vijana ambao wamefuzu kutoka National Youth Service.
Also, 80% of security docket jobs will be allocated to NYS officers, says President William Ruto.
It is the responsibility of our government to create jobs in the country, not to look for jobs outside.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga has criticized President William Ruto for focusing on foreign job opportunities for Kenyans.
Who are you? What are you? Who the hell do you think you are?
Raila wants Ruto to create more job opportunities locally.
The senator, we have recommended him to be charged, and we are in the process. I think we got a go ahead to charge him.
And Senator Jackson Mandago in trouble after EACC recommended his prosecution over Finland education scam. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right now. My name is Linda Alela. Our sign language interpreter is none other than Rhoda Nyamai. You can always interact with us. The hashtag is Disruptive Friday. Later on that conversation, we will be unpacking just how safe you can be, courtesy of technology. But to start us off, tonight, parents in Elgeyo-Marakwet County are grappling with a profound sense of grief and shock as they mourn the loss of 5 sons. This as 28 other boys are currently admitted to various hospitals, with one in critical condition in the intensive care unit following a poorly executed circumcision procedure. Elgeyo-Marakwet Health CEC Michael Kibiwot has attributed the tragic outcomes to the unsuitable environment in which the circumcision exercise took place. He has urged parents to be vigilant, emphasizing the need to promptly seek medical attention for their children if any signs of adverse reactions or illness manifest.
Our various hospitals, we have admitted 28 initiates who have recently underwent the rites of passage or circumcision and have come into our hospitals with severe pneumonia, severe septicemia, and severe pneumonia amongst others.
We are not supposed to lose any life because the procedure by itself is supposed to be a safe procedure. And, but because of the conditions surrounding the procedure and surrounding the care following the procedure, which has exposed the initiates into this condition.
Well, that's rather tragic. Away from it, tonight, opposition leader Raila Odinga has criticized President William Ruto, accusing him of prioritizing job opportunities for Kenyans abroad instead of concentrating on creating employment within the country. Odinga voiced his concerns about what he termed as significant brain drain resulting from a high number of Kenyans living abroad. Speaking at the Catholic University, where he reflected on Kenyans' 60-year journey since gaining independence, the opposition leader underscored the importance of addressing internal employment challenges and fostering opportunities for job creation locally, as Apollo Kamau details.
Who are you? What are you?
Azimio leader Raila Odinga has criticized President William Ruto's overseas job promises, emphasizing the administration's failure to generate opportunities locally.
Young people with the new skills and knowledge that we need are being exported because the government cannot create jobs. And the government sees it as an achievement. It is the responsibility of our government to create jobs in the country, not to look for jobs outside. When you have a whole president running out there that is looking for jobs for people here, something is terribly wrong.
Speaking at the Catholic University in Nairobi during a reflection on Kenya's 60-year journey since independence, Odinga expressed his concern about the economic impact of the significant number of Kenyans seeking employment abroad, saying this was hurting the economy due to brain drain.
Today, our people are scrambling to leave the country. A recent study by Pew Research showed that up to 54% of Kenyans would wish to relocate from the country. Our children are struggling to get farm jobs in Israel, to be house helps in Saudi Arabia, and security personnel in Qatar.
Odinga's critique of the administration coming hours after President William Ruto put the brakes on those seeking jobs abroad, that they will have to seek National Youth Service training first.
Already we are concluding negotiations with Germany. We are concluding negotiations with Saudi Arabia. We are concluding negotiations with another 8 countries on export of labor. And the National Youth Service is going to be the central organization for pre-deployment training so that Kenyans understand what they need to do when they go out for work as labor that is exported from Kenya.
In a Kwasi scorecard evaluation of the Kenya Kwanza administration, timed with the nation's 60th independence anniversary, the opposition leader decried corruption, tribalism, and what he described as heartless leadership. According to Odinga, this has deviated Kenya from the vision of its founding fathers and urged the international community, especially the West, to speak out against perceived shortcomings of the Ruto administration.
Corruption is killing our future. Tribalism is stealing our potential. Under the current regime, these 2 vices are officially sanctioned. The country is divided between people with the shares and those with no shares. Shame on them.
Apollo Kamau, TV47.
And President William Ruto has announced a significant shift in security recruitment, revealing that 80% of future selections will be sourced from the National Youth Service, NYS. Speaking during the passing out parade of over 10,000 servicemen in Gilgil and Nakuru County, the head of state emphasized the effectiveness and admiration for NYS graduates, citing their notable skills and competencies. The strategic decision aims to bolster the capabilities and contributions of NYS-trained individuals in the country's security sector.
I am glad to be here as we celebrate the achievements of our youth in their preparation to serve their nation.
Speaking during the 87th pass-out parade of National Youth Service recruits in Gilgil, Nakuru County, President William Ruto announced a significant decision by the National Security Council stating that 80% of all recruitments in security agencies, including the National Police Service, the Kenya Defence Forces and the Kenya Wildlife Service, will be sourced from the National Youth Service.
Wale wote watakaoajiriwa kwa jeshi la Kenya, kwa polisi wa Kenya, Kenya Forest Service, Kenya Wildlife Service, asilimia 80% watakuwa hawa vijana ambao wamefuzu kutoka National Youth Service.
President Ruto further outlined plans to boost the welfare of NYS servicemen and women by increasing their salaries by 40%. This initiative is set to commence next year and extend for 3 years.
National Youth Service, beginning the next financial year for 3 years, their salaries will be increased by 40%.
Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria, on his part, highlighted the government's pursuit of labor export to create opportunities for the youth, designating the NYS as the central organization for pre-deployment training.
We are going to have 50% of everybody going to work out there coming from the job and the labor provider number one, which is the National Youth Service.
Additionally, President Ruto commended the NYS for their significant contribution to the National Tree Planting and Landscape Restoration Campaign. The institution has propagated 35 million seedlings in various field units across the country, showcasing their dedication to environmental conservation. Kisewa Emory reporting for TV47.
Thanks, Kisao, for that. Now, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is seeking to have Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago charged in connection with the Finland scholarship controversy. Twalib Mbarak, the CEO of EACC, has confirmed that the commission has received approval from the Director of Public Prosecution to pursue charges against the senator. Speaking at a public engagement forum in Murang'a County, Mbarak indicated that the commission has gathered evidence to be used in the legal proceedings against the former governor. Here is Vera Alberta with the details.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC now says that Uasin Gishu County Senator Jackson Mandago is set to face charges related to the Uasin Gishu Education Trust Fund.
The senator, we have recommended him to be charged, and we are in the process. I think we got a go-ahead to charge him.
Speaking in Murang'a County, EACC Chief Executive Officer Twalib Mbarak further disclosed that several other senior government officials will also be charged over graft accusations.
We have also investigated some cases. We are yet to get confirmation from the DPP in concurrence as far as telecom cell is concerned. We have recommended a former CS, a PS, and some senior telecom officials to be charged.
Mbarak further revealed that officials from Siaya County have been implicated in cases of misuse of public funds.
For Siaya County, there's an issue of misuse of money through interest collection and not surrendering. We have recommended some senior staff of Siaya County to be charged, including one who pocketed about 18 million shillings.
EACC Chairman David Ginde emphasized that county governments, particularly governors, are accountable for any corruption cases within their specific regions.
There's a lot of corruption that has gone into the county. So it is suddenly expected that when you are doing corruption investigations, most likely you'll find most of them happening in the county government, and therefore the governors as heads of the counties are going to be the ones to respond to those questions.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC has been conducting an inquiry into a scholarship program valued at 1.1 billion shillings initiated during Senator Jackson Mandago's tenure in the Uasin Gishu County government. This scholarship initiative involved parents contributing funds to facilitate their children's educational opportunities in Finland and Canada. The investigation by the EACC focuses on the management and utilization of these funds for the scholarship program during the specific period. Vera Alberta, TV47.
And as the government intensifies its efforts to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence by 2026, challenges within the country's judicial and health systems have been identified as the primary obstacles impeding progress in combating this issue. And according to the Kenya Demographic Health Survey 2022 report, 47% of women in Kenya have encountered sexual and physical violence at least once in their lifetime, as Elizabeth Atino details.
In this confined space, a gathering of women bears the weight of deep and invisible scars inflicted by diverse forms of gender-based violence. While some may consider themselves fortunate to live and recount their harrowing tales, the enduring pain of delayed justice cuts even deeper into their hearts. Jackie Mutere, a survivor of sexual violation during the 2007 to 2008 post-election violence, now shares her 15-year journey navigating the corridors of justice, which regrettably has proven futile.
It was a very bad experience, and because of the violation, I ended up with having a baby because of that, and that's when I decided to have an initiative that supports specifically survivors who were violated and then conceived from the violation and have children from the violation.
For Mutere and her fellow survivors, some non-governmental organizations have provided a safe haven for the over 34% and 13% of women who have experienced physical and sexual violence, respectively.
We focus on self-agency because we believe that the survivor themselves should tell their own story, and we also believe in memorialization, that not a single story, a single woman's story, a single survivor's story should ever be lost.
Let us remember that behind every statistic, every case that comes before the courts, there's a human being, a life irrevocably altered.
Despite efforts by the judiciary to establish 12 sexual and gender-based violence courts, including Shanzu, Makadara and Kibra law courts, aimed at enhancing accessibility to justice for GBV survivors, stigma remains a formidable obstacle. Many shy away from seeking help due to societal perceptions.
The implementation of laws that penalize sexual violence and support survivors in the legal process is a testament to the government's commitment. It has created an environment where survivors can find justice and support for their mental health needs.
The government has been urged to amend the Mental Health Act of 2022 to make it more inclusive for GBV survivors who are in dire need of medical and counseling services.
There is need to establish a mental health council in reference to the provisions of the Mental Health Amendment Act.
Alarming statistics from the Kenya National Commission for Human Rights reveal that up to 25% of outpatients and 40% of inpatients in health facilities suffer from various mental health conditions. These grim figures underscore the urgent requirement for increased deployment of health personnel to handle GBV survivors with sensitivity and professionalism, given that the current psychiatrist to population ratio stands at 0.2 per 1,000. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thanks, Liz, for that reminder that the world is in the process of, shunning this aspect of gender-based violence, so it's important that you join in this process of activism. Now, the organizers of the highly anticipated Youth Connect Africa Summit in Nairobi have confirmed the completion of all preparations, that including addressing the security situation ahead of the official conference that is slated for tomorrow. Today, Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba took the lead in guiding various groups of youth in a tree planting exercise with the goal of planting 60,000 trees before Jamhuri Day, as Micah Gungo tells us.
The much-anticipated Youth Connect Africa Summit is scheduled to commence Saturday morning at the Kenyatta International Conference Center in Nairobi, bringing together over 20,000 invited guests from across the continent. Youth Affairs Principal Secretary Ismail Malim says that the 6th edition of the summit will bring together various government officials, corporate leaders and development champions.
The opportunity and time to dialogue and spearhead the Africa to have a borderless continent.
It is our time. We've constantly complained that we've not been included. But right now, as you can see, we are being given an opportunity to lead this conversation.
In this year's summit, the spotlight will be on youth innovation and leadership for Africa's integration. Through investor meetings, a marketplace, entrepreneur-focused programs, policy discussions, storytelling and networking.
Between government and then the young people, there should be a reconciliation of government taking the young people seriously, and also the young people should also collaborate with the government, prioritizing and also actively contributing to the national development.
I already have many friends in the military, and so this is one of the things that Madagascar have to take from Kenyan, to learn from Kenyan people, the commitment in the field of military as a youth people.
Stakeholders from Kenya and beyond have expressed their expectations for the summit, highlighting their anticipation of exchanging ideas to provide holistic solutions to the challenges faced by African youth.
Other countries, as we're seeing, their dedication to other youth, they prefer a lot than our county, Mandera County. Ours is not really appreciated because our youth, they just go back to county.
I insisted on being in coming to Kenya for these events. Why? Because luckily we're in a digital world. I see what my friends who are in Kenya are already doing, and they are doing an extraordinary job. So I came to also learn from them.
Earlier in the day, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Babuna Mwamba, led a group of dignitaries and youths in a tree planting exercise in Kasarani, Nairobi, marking the official kickoff of the Youth Connect Africa Summit.
Tayari Wizara ya Vijana imeanzisha mradi maalum wa kutafuta vijana milioni 1 kuwa jeshi la mazingira, 1 million youth green army. Na madhumuni ni kwamba tungependa vijana wahusike pakubwa.
Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thanks, Mike, for that. Mount Kenya University conducted its 24th graduation ceremony today, witnessing the graduation of over 5,000 students. The chief guest, PS Industrialization, that is Dr. James Mukhwana, lauded the institution for its significant contribution to advancing quality higher education in the country and beyond. Sheila Chelagat with that.
Speaking during the 24th MKU graduation ceremony at the university's main campus in Thika, PS Industrialization Dr. Juma Mukhwana lauded the institution for its role in promoting quality higher education.
As the larger East African region's largest and most progressive private university, itself an accomplishment that deserves more than an honorable mention.
The PS also commended the university for bridging the gap between theoretical learning and practical application.
Should now prioritize research as the cornerstone of a thriving industrial economy, replete with inbuilt cultural intuitiveness towards manufacturing. And fortunately, the university is the natural home for research.
A total of 5,763 students today were awarded with various degrees ranging from bachelor's, master's and PhDs during the graduation ceremony.
19 Doctor of Philosophy degrees, 531 master degrees, 113 postgraduate diplomas, 3670 bachelor's degrees, 1,177 diplomas, 263 certificates.
Meanwhile, the university has taken pride in its efforts to reach various nationals while providing their services via open distance learning.
The ODEL platform, Mount Kenya University has been able to support through the internet, online studies. We have been able to support nationals from 40 nationalities. And this has been made possible because of the robust Odell platform that we have supported as council.
The graduates were urged to be guided by values instilled in them by MKU with integrity and perseverance as they pursue their careers. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Congratulations to all of them. Now, in anticipation of the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations, Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua has declared that all Kenyans will enjoy free entry to all national parks and reserves, providing an opportunity to experience the natural beauty of Kenya. While speaking at Nairobi National Park, Mutua urged county governments hosting national parks and reserves to collaborate with the national government to ensure that the success of this initiative is experienced. He emphasized the importance of maintaining order and announced that park visitors would be guided in and out of the areas. Adults will need to present identification upon entry, and children must be accompanied by their guardians as well. Mutua encouraged Kenyans to take advantage of this opportunity and experience the country's wonders and beauty.
60 years of independence, and in keeping with us Kenyans being proud to be Kenyan, and for all of us to enjoy what God has given us, the government announces the entrance, or announces free entrance to Kenyan citizens to all our national parks and national museums on Jamhuri Day, December 12, 2023. Now, this free entrance extends to marine parks, the safari walk, and animal orphanages, and will be on December 12, 2023, Jamhuri Day, that is on Tuesday, from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. The offer is for Kenyan citizens with proof of identification and children accompanying parents or guardians or family members who have proof of identification.
Well, it is a time that we get sporty, so let's cross over to that.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Said, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
What's making the headlines? What does it mean to you? How does it affect you? We answer all these questions every Sunday for half an hour on To The Point Show. Hey, I'm Grace Kuriakanja, and a lot has happened this week. Let's dive into it.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for.
That is our job.
This is my job. My name is Victor Moyakane, and it's my honor to bring you this news this way every Thursday night on the home of Untold Stories.
Katika majengo haya, hapa ndipo sheria zinapotungwa na zinapopakuliwa. Nitakuletea viongozi mbalimbali, mirengo mbalimbali, wote kwa pamoja wakipika na kupakua. Tutawapa nafasi kuweza kuangazia changamoto na mafanikio ya ugatuzi katika ukumbi wa siasa kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia saa 1 kamili na kuendelea.
Toka eneo hili la Naivasha kwenye kaunti 032, gatuzi la Nakuru.
Toka kaunti ya Elgeyo Marakwet, kaunti 028.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Wajir.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Turukana.
Kwa matukio yote yanayojiri katika kaunti hii 012.
Kutoka kaunti nambari 1, kaunti ya Mombasa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Lamu.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka Kisii County.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Machakos.
Kutoka kaunti hii ya Trans Nzoia.
Kaunti 038.
Kutoka gatuzi nambari 029, kaunti ya Nandi, chemichemi ya mabingwa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Kakamega.
Itakuwa nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Bungoma.
Jina langu ni Paula Munio.
Willy Dennis Njiru.
Fabian Kibet.
Mimi ni Hashim Jimal.
Mimi ni Kitio Mika Masai.
John Javakiania.
Jina langu ni Abdulaziz Nameka.
Mimi ni Kombo Alfayo.
Jina langu ni Nicholas Mbai.
Isaac Famba.
Mimi ni Wanji Sosti.
Jina langu ni Arnold Adidi.
Jina langu ni Chris Bet.
Jina langu ni Violet Auma.
Na TV47 inapotamba, mimi Sheila Chelangat nitakuwa nikiripotia maswala yanayokuhusu wewe kila kuchao. Every Thursday 7:30 p.m. unapata nafasi kufahamu viongozi mbalimbali kutoka humu nchini, kuanzia wabunge.
Through Changa we could get money to pay our rent, pay our bills.
When I was growing up, water was a problem where I was born and bred. We wake up at 3 to go and look for water.
Magavana
must be ready to be a tough
woman
and not a woman to be walked over. Kwa hivyo you respect people.
Dari ya mfahamu kiongozi, story na historia, na mi Elizabeth Muchuku.
Well, if it is happening, then we are definitely talking about it on TV47's Disruptive Friday. Don't miss a moment on the most technological and disruptive moment on TV.
From groundbreaking AI breakthroughs to the latest ingenious innovations, we have it all covered for you. Get ready to see the future unfold right in front of your eyes. My name is Eric Munene.
And my name is Linda Alela, and we not promise nothing short of great news experience.
The thing about coffee is it means different things to different people. To some, it is what gets them going every day. The ability to transform groggy mornings into vibrant beginnings.
To others, it is a fuel that drives them through the day. The thing about coffee is that we like it differently. I love mine with a little bit of a sweetener.
and a love mine strong.
For me, the darker, the better.
The thing about coffee is it gives a platform for sharing news and reviews.
The best opportunity for a great conversation.
It is the perfect way to kickstart your day. And here, we serve it hot.
Let Kids on the Block take you to the most fantastic place on television. Where anything can happen.
Today I have an interesting story about the lion and the mouse. Today we are going to prepare mug cake.
We are having Hilda. We're going to be making this worm and it's a bookmark.
Catch Kids on the Block every Saturday at 9 a.m.
Everyone is obsessed with property. But when should you buy? How do you know you're getting a good deal? And is there ever a good time to sell?
You never go wrong with real estate.
Go wrong on paint, when you go wrong on lighting, that's it, you're done. But when you go right on painting and the paintwork and you go right to the lighting, it depends also with the setup. So you can do a lot of lighting at a wrong setup.
Now the county government comes in and says that you have developed in a place that you should not go this way, and the county decides to demolish.
Right.
Where do you rent?
On The Realtor, we don't just showcase the latest properties, we also focus on topics affecting the real estate industry so you know what to do and when to do it. Catch The Realtor every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Said, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
What's making the headlines? What does it mean to you? How does it affect you? We answer all these questions every Sunday for half an hour on To The Point Show. Hey, I'm Grace Kuriakanja, and a lot has happened this week. Let's dive into it.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for. That is our job. This is my job. My name is Victor Moyakane, and it's my honor to bring you this news this way every Thursday night on the home of Untold Stories.
Katika majengo haya, hapa ndipo sheria zinapotungwa na zinapopakuliwa. Nitakuletea viongozi mbalimbali, mirengo mbalimbali, wote kwa pamoja wakipika na kupakua. Tutawapa nafasi kuweza kuangazia changamoto na mafanikio ya ugatuzi katika ukumbi wa siasa kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia saa 1 kamili na kuendelea.
Toka eneo hili la Naivasha kwenye kaunti 032, gatuzi la Nakuru.
Toka kaunti ya Elgeyo Marakwet, kaunti 028.
Nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Wajir.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Turukana.
Kwa matukio yote yanayojiri katika kaunti hii 012.
Kutoka kaunti nambari 1, kaunti ya Mombasa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Lamu.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka Kisii County.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Machakos.
Kutoka kaunti hii ya Trans Nzoia.
Kaunti 038.
Kutoka gatuzi nambari 029, kaunti ya Nandi, chemichemi ya mabingwa.
Nikiripotia TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Kakamega.
Itakuwa nikiripotia runinga ya TV47 kutoka kaunti ya Bungoma.
Jina langu ni Paula Munio.
Willy Dennis Njiru.
Fabian Kibet.
Mimi ni Hashim Jimal.
Mimi ni Kitio Mika Masai.
John Javakiania.
Jina langu ni Abdulaziz Nameka.
Mimi ni Kombo Alfayo.
Jina langu ni Nicholas Mbai.
Isaac Famba.
Mimi ni Wanji Sosti.
Jina langu ni Arnold Adidi. Jina langu ni Chris Bet.
Jina langu ni Violet Auma.
Na TV47 inapotamba, mimi Sheila Chelangat nitakuwa nikiripotia maswala yanayokuhusu wewe kila kuchao.
Every Thursday 7:30 p.m. unapata nafasi kufahamu viongozi mbalimbali kutoka humu nchini, kuanzia wabunge.
Through Changa, we could get money to pay our rent, to pay our bills.
When I was growing up, water was a problem where I was born and bred. We wake up at 3 to go and look for water.
Magavana
must be ready to be a tough woman and not a woman to be walked over.
Kwa hivyo
you respect people.
Ndani ya Mfahamu Kiongozi, story na historia, na mi Elizabeth Muchuku.
All right, we get to that conversation. Remember, incorporating technology and innovation into a comprehensive security strategy is actually crucial for establishing a resilient and adaptive security posture. So Swift Response is here to engage in a technological discourse on safety and security, emphasizing the role of technology in shaping and enhancing security measures. And yes, I'll be introducing them in a bit as we get into this very crucial conversation. I mean, you probably are saying that everybody in the space of technology perhaps would understand that it comes in handy when it comes to addressing the matters of health. But is it always as easy as it sounds? Certainly not. And so the experts are going to tell us just what is the thing about this aspect of technology and what exactly they do as Swift. And here we are. We have, should I begin with the lady or the gentleman? They always say ladies first.
Yeah, for sure.
Not men before. All right. Jen Karaoke is the head of business development, Swift Response. Thank you so much for creating time to be with us, Jane, as well as Yahaya Gondosio. There's a tongue twister, head of e-commerce, Your Basket. Thank you so much, gentlemen, as well, for creating time to be with us. And of course, we get into this conversation about just how safe we can be, courtesy of technology. And in this world where everybody is moving tech and innovation, just what are some of the things that we can incorporate in the aspect of security, you know, in numerous fronts to make sure that we are okay. Karibuni sana.
Asante
All
sana.
right, so here we get to this very crucial conversation. Just first of all, Swift security.
Yes.
What about it? Who are they? What do they do?
Yes.
Straight to it.
Thank you very much. Swift Response International Group is a tech marketplace which offers emergency response services on your phone. Simply put, it's like a 911 on your phone. We're able to access medical emergency response services, security, and our recent innovation is road rescue.
You know, as though you read my mind, my next question would have been, what are some of the factors that you actually look into, or what is this that you have incorporated in that? And I'm glad you say you handle 3 things.
Correct.
Very, very important. Just how important is technology when it comes to the question of security? We'll perhaps take it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Linda, for the question. I think when we look at technology as a whole, especially how quickly the world is adapting to technology, then you find there's a very big likelihood that there's bound to be a lot of abuse in that.
Yeah.
And when you look at what Swift Response is trying to do in the market, Swift Response is a distress app. So what we're trying to bring in the market is something completely different that has not been there. As Jen said before, it's a 911 app. Basically, you could think of picking up your phone and calling an emergency number, but through your app, and it's something that can be done within 5 seconds. So we have looked at how quickly, let's say, for example, Kenya has adapted to 4G and now quickly switching up to 5G, and we have seen how smartphone penetration has grown in the recent years, and we saw an opportunity in the market there, and we said, okay, voila, let's go in and see how we can be able to also help people using technology to be able to address their security and medical concerns.
And I love that, but reality is that it's one thing to have infrastructure, it's one thing to have, you know, digital penetration, it is one thing for people to, you know, embrace technology, but it's another for them to perhaps just understand this specific product and appreciate it. And since I realize that you are across the board and globally, just how would you say Kenyans or Kenya at large is responding to this in terms of appreciating as well as making use of such technology?
Yes, as my colleague here said, smartphone penetration has gone up, and so Kenyans across the board are leveraging technology and they're appreciating the platform, and simply put, it's an easy app, so easy to use, so Kenyans are actually leveraging. And one thing I must say, it's GPS powered, so we're able to locate you right to the location where you are. Yeah, so leveraging technology to get you security, ambulance, and road rescue at the point and when you need it. Yeah.
This then would tell me it's feeding of my information, of my data. One of the greatest concerns of most of the people, just how safe is my data? All right, once I am done working with you, is it like a long-term thing? Do I get to, you know, to perhaps just be a part and parcel of Swift Response? And when I know we're going to get into that and understanding such other applications that would do the same thing. But just in the question of data security, you would take it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you again for the question.
Right.
We try to ask for very minimum information from the customer. Think we really, because it's a GPS-powered app, that's all we need from the customer. So in terms of information, we try to ask for very minimum information from the customer. And that information, obviously, every consumer is protected by the data privacy laws, which is something that we're also very keen not to flout. So at the end of the day, we are not also supposed, if a user, let's say, for example, as a user, if you're subscribed to our app, then we've got that responsibility to make sure that we cannot share your data with any other third party. So your data is very safe with us. And also, if you're asking for information from you, we're asking for very minimum information. As we said, all we need is to be able to get you a GPS. We just need to geolocate you. So we need very minimum information from the customer. Yes.
When you say third party, what exactly do you mean? Because if you're going to handle security, you're going to handle health, I am assuming then you will also work with other entities. Perhaps you'd tell us what are some of the entities that you work with, and wouldn't one then consider these entities as third party?
Yes, absolutely right. As I said, Swift Response, we own the technology, and what we've done, we've partnered with third-party privately vetted security, and ambulance providers and road rescue. So we are not a fly-by-night company. We are backed by solid companies within industry and the big ones as you know them. Yeah, so we have solid credentials. So when we say we offer security, we are backed by key players. When we say we offer ambulance, we are backed by key players in the same case. So as we offer the technology and leverage third party, and the advantage of that is that you're not skewed to just one provider. We have numerous providers, about 320 providers across the country. Yeah.
Let's look at the general perspective to this kind of technology and the aspects of safety that would sit under such an application. And most of the times then, of course, it comes with a lot of expenses. While we say that technology is all out and everyone can access, online activities based on just how capable they are as well to enjoy the fruits of technology. Let's talk about accessibility of such platforms and, the need to get the people to understand that this can actually come in handy in the event that you have trouble, perhaps on the road or on the question of health. Kundusi.
There's a lot of awareness that needs to be done in that regard. I think that's one of the things that Swift Response has been very keen on, because this is a very unique product in the market. So a lot of people may not be very aware of what Swift Response can offer, or for example, an alternative app that can be offering something similar to Swift Response. A lot of people in the market might not be aware of that. So there's a lot of sensitization that needs to be done. In our case also, we've partnered with a lot of organizations just to be able to push the message down to the people. And we can see over the last couple of months, there's actually been a very steady growth in terms of even consumers embracing the app and understanding and even using the app itself to their own benefit. Yes.
All right, how do we get to minimize on human error in such occurrences? Because technology comes along with, I know so much of technology itself and innovation, but equally there's still the hand of, the people, there's still the hand of human beings into it. And this, then we're talking about security. We're talking about the safety of individuals. What do we then do to make sure that we minimize on the human errors?
Yes. The good thing with the Swift Response app, there is no human intervention. It's machine.
And perhaps on a general perspective, it would help us much to look at this on a general perspective.
Yes. The beauty with the app is that there is no human intervention. It's machine to machine. So once you press the panic button on your phone, the closest responder, as we said, we use technology and we use GPS. The closest responder is able to pick up that panic and locate you right to the location where you are. And the beauty is this, it gives comfort to the consumer, because once you panic, you're able to see who is the responder, how long will they take to get to you. So that risk of human error or technology failing is eliminated. However, we also have a call center, so in the event that for whatever reason technology fails you, then you can call the call center and they can be able to send help.
I want us to look at this at a general perspective. I insist on that. That before we speak of specifically what it is that you're presenting on the table, there needs to be that general understanding and appreciation of the importance of technology when it comes to, according people safety in whatever capacity.
Yes.
Just how do we get people to understand that they're in, there are all these pluses, as compared to what they would have gotten prior.
Yes. Yeah, I think the comfort that we give consumers is that, as I said, given that we're using technology, there is no human intervention. It's machine to machine. Then it eliminates all the errors that you'd expect from any other technology.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would love for us to briefly take a look at what it is that you have, and maybe sometimes somewhere in between, just try and unpack and ask several questions in relation to that. If you could please join me on this end.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're just briefly going to look at what it is that Swift Response does. Then in the process, we perhaps just get to ask some of the basic questions. Remember, the lines are open for you to call in live. The numbers running down on your screen. 22047 is the SMS short code. It's just all about technology and security. Remember, this is all a tech and innovation show, and in a space where technology is moving very fast. Do you want us to call for assistance?
Yeah, one of my techie.
Yes, really taking around.
Yeah.
We are dealing with a question of technology. All right.
Fantastic.
Yes, there you go. So I do not want us to speak much about what it is that you have, but then again, I think it should be a guiding factor, what it is that we use. So for instance, one then gets to encounter this application or any other application that would land them into such a service.
Yes.
How do they get to go about that? How do they get to get that confidence that they're dealing with the right people? And also, what kind of due diligence is done to make sure that the ones that you're working with, then, are going to guarantee the user, good services. Yeah.
Fantastic. So as I said, the app is available on iOS and Google Play. So once you download the app, then you get the interface, and this is how the interface would ideally look like.
Right.
Yeah, so ideally, as I said, we offer security, we offer medical, and we offer road rescue. So in the event that you're caught up with an emergency or a situation and you need to panic for help, so you would ideally press the security button, and in the event that you're unwell and you need medical, an ambulance to take you to hospital, then you would ideally panic on the medical and road rescue. And sometimes we understand, and as you said, you were talking about gender-based violence, your attacker could be there with you. So there's an opportunity for you to chat. Or even sometimes somebody could be breaking into your home and you can't be able to speak. So we offer you that opportunity to chat and say, hey, I'm not safe, and we can be able to locate you right where you are.
I am trying to imagine that, and perhaps you have, like you're in an accident. Do you even have the time to do this? And sometimes people would want to argue that way. But just how handy then does it come in terms of a scenario where then you have your attacker right there, perhaps you barely even, have a chance to use your phone. Just how do you go about it?
Yes, so ideally if your attacker is there, you'd ideally just panic and not even speak. Yeah, you just panic, don't speak. If you're unwell and you can't speak, you just panic and speak. Remember, as I said, we're using technology, we are using GPS, so we locate you right where you are. So whether you answer your call or not, we get help right to you. Yes.
All right, so where do we go?
So let's try the security. Ideally, you long press and press the security button.
Okay. Could we, I don't know whether, well, we could use the phone as well. It's a touch, but I don't know why it's not picking it up.
Okay, so
does it work for that?
Yeah, so normally when you download the app, you just long press and you can see our panic has been registered.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we get to know that it's been registered?
It will tell you. It will tell you. It will show you. It will show you. Fantastic. So you can already see tick, your security call out has been created and expect a call. As I said, the call center will normally call you just to ascertain your level of risk. Yeah. So you'll see they'll call us just to ascertain. And as I said, if you're in a position that you cannot speak, help will still come.
Okay.
Yeah. So ideally the call center just calls so that we can ascertain how do we respond.
So at this point, there's a map here. So this speaks to TV47, or now this is where it shows where you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's already showing. We are at TV47, and here they are saying dispatching the nearest security responder.
I hope they do not. I hope they did not.
No, normally when they call, because now we are doing a demo, we'll tell them that it's actually a test.
So do they call immediately? Is this a call that is coming in?
Yes, it's the call that's coming in.
It's actually the call that is coming in.
Exactly.
Let us see whether...
Exactly.
Okay, let's speak to them in here.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Swift Response powered by Aura. We received your panic. Do you have an emergency?
No, I don't have an emergency. I'm doing a test.
Interesting.
Okay, kindly confirm for me your safe word in order for me to cancel the response.
Luadi.
Perfect. And I can see your current...
I wish we had this up so that people can hear.
Yes.
Sorry? In TV47, is this correct?
Correct.
Sawa. Thank you for testing, and in case you have an emergency, feel free to activate the panic at any time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a lovely night. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting right there. Technology can be quite interesting. Hey, let's proceed. So
Yes,
at that
already,
point, they have responded.
Yes, so they're already showing you that KK security is on the way, and they show you the person, and they show you the number plate, and they can tell you we'll be here in 5 minutes. Yes.
So they get to cancel that.
Correct.
All right, okay.
Correct.
That's
you can already see 5 minutes. The responder would have been here. So if we had a typical emergency, they would be able to come within 5 minutes, get you help, or if it's ambulance, give you first aid and take you to hospital. Yes.
So then how does one get to perhaps have this? And I know it is necessary for people to get to understand, do I have to have money? Because technology then comes along with a lot of expenses. So how do you play around that?
Correct. So everything is on, once you download the app on iOS and App Store, it's a guided step. So you key in your details and limited details, and you key in what we call your safe word, and then thereafter you pay through everything you do on the phone. It's an annual subscription. So for an individual, it's 3,000 a year. So once you pay the 3,000, you get access to all the 3 segments of the service. You get access to medical, you get access to ambulance, and you get access to road rescue, and you don't pay anything else. When we come and rescue, you don't pay anything else. And we also realize sometimes you could have a family and dependents that you would like to put. So we also have a family package, which is a maximum of 15 members at 15,000 shillings. Yes.
All right, incredible. That's all about Swift. But then again, Gondoshi, we come back to you, and you bring a global picture to this. How would you rate Kenya in terms of response compared to the rest of the world, compared to the global fraternity? And this, again, in relation to perhaps what it is that you have already done.
I think now thinking of Kenya, and then you have to think of swift response. And if I'm going to rank Kenya in terms of a global perspective, and I'll use our internet exposure, I'll use the internet growth, the internet penetration as a measure for Kenya. And you can see if you compare us to our peers in Africa, we are among the top 5 in terms of internet penetration. And we're growing at a very fast pace in terms of even the smartphone penetration itself, even in the rural areas. So we are doing quite well as a country. I don't think I can put a number to it because I do not have enough data to back it up, but I think we're doing quite well as a country, and we can use swift response as a measure to that. Yes.
If we're going to speak about civic education, getting the people to embrace this, whether Swift or any other, because then we understand the importance of security and how technology can come into leverage on this or to help us on this. So how would you say the governments and perhaps the stakeholders, the people are actually performing in terms of making sure that this then is embraced?
Yeah, I think it's still low, but the beauty is that TechSAP, we are governed by Communication Commission, and there is another body within government that governs. So there's a lot of goodwill from government, and as Swift Response, we are trying to engage these stakeholders so that we can be able to create that civic education, and so that people can be aware about technology and also the risks and compose. So government, through its bodies, we are working very closely to be able to at least drive that penetration. Yeah.
And we certainly hope with the penetration of ICT and perhaps the infrastructures across different parts of the country, this then will certainly be something that comes in handy to guarantee most of the Kenyans, access to security. Real time for that matter. I remember the other time we were talking about, the celebrations of Madaraka. It was all about how we can leverage on technology and to make sure that Kenyans can, get to access health, and their data is well protected. And beyond that, then we see there's that aspect of, road safety and so much more. So why don't you go out there and embrace technology? Remember, Disruptive Friday is all about just how best we can tap into what technology offers on the table for us to make our lives easy. Jane Kariuki, the last speaker, who is the head of business development, Swift Response. Thank you so much for the great insight and also for that beautiful, show right there. Definitely, you have seen just how quick the response then can be. You have no reason whatsoever, to die there. Yet there is help for you. Yahaya Gondosio, who is the head of e-commerce YouBasket. How time flies. Thank you so much for creating time to be with us this evening.